Wait a minute. You know, this is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee.
Hello, all my peeps out there. Welcome. I am Katina Johnson, and you've hit Katina's Corner, where we are here. We are the hub, where all we show is love. At this point, we are focusing on fitness, to be determined, finances, family, and keeping the faith all the way through. This is our second show, and I thank you for joining us. As of last week, we spoke about my journey and the things that I've endured to where I am today. Again, just to reiterate, I am a mother of 20-something years, a wife of 20 years, and someone who left their human resources corporate job of 20 years as well. I left my job to consider, or basically to move into my own business as an entrepreneur. I've done that since January of 2017. So as of this month, I've had my 2 years without being in corporate HR. Woo! You know what? I'm gonna take a drink to that. All right.
Me too.
I don't know who else can feel me, but in the event that you leave corporate America, it's something that comes over you when you realize that you can really make it yourself and find what your worth truly is, based on what somebody else tells you what you're really worth. So I'm going to move on in this show. Today, I've got I have a friend who I pretty much consider as a sister. I've been knowing her for over 30 years, and I feel that she has a story to tell as well. A lot of us, like I said, have left corporate America. My friend is the CEO and president of her company. It's called Tamiallovon Unique Creations, and I'd love for you guys to meet her, and hopefully she can inspire you some of the things that she does currently. She works in arts and crafts. Well, I'm sorry, she started off doing arts and crafts and has been able to make that a true business. So all of you guys out there that's wondering how talented you are, my friend took her talents to a whole nother level. So I love to introduce you to my friend, my sister, Tammy Perry.
Thank you for having me, and I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. I had a few questions, which I'm sure a lot of our guests out there would love to understand and figure out maybe where you were before and where you are now. So if you don't mind, can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Okay, my name is Tammy Perry. I am 46 years old and very happy.
She look good. All right now.
Okay. So I started my journey. I am a 3-time heart attack victim that caused me to come out on my job. I used to work at Ford Motor Company. I used to work a lot of corporate jobs, Quicken Loans, Ford Motor, and then a lot of other jobs. So when I got sick and came out from the heart attacks and just a lot of stress in my life, I decided, I had to do something else, like just sitting around the house every day. You call your friends, they're at work. So like, what am I supposed to do? They're at work. So as a younger age, I've always been into arts and crafts, and I just took my arts and crafts to another level and decided to make it a business. If I'm going to be at home, what could I do to make money out of my business? And that's how I pretty much got started with the things that I'm doing now.
That is wonderful. That's really good. And I'm sure a lot of you guys may do things at home and don't even realize like what the price someone would pay for your talents that you have. A lot of people don't know what you know, and I always tell people, go out and become the specialist in your niche, because you never know what people will pay you for. Yeah, somebody may have had something wrong with their plumbing or something. Yeah, don't try to even fix that. They're gonna go and try to find somebody who can, and they'll pay $30, $40, $50 an hour for somebody to come in for 5 minutes. So again, go be a specialist at what you do.
Yeah, also being a specialist what you do, you are not always a specialist in the beginning. You learn as you go along. I always say your experiences are your best teachers, because a lot of things that I've learned was experiences due to dealing with family and friends. one thing about business that I learned is family and friends. I love my family. I love my friends. But when it comes to family and friends, you cannot use them as think that you're going to get rich off family and friends, because they will be the last people that really show you support. And I don't think it's not support because they just don't want to see you make it. They may not want something from you all the time, and you can't just boil what your business is based off of family and friends. You have to have a bigger picture of who your audience is going to be, what type of people you're trying to market and deal with. And so when I realized that I'm not going to make it with just family and friends, I had to come to the realization is, hey, are you in this for real, or are you just doing this for family and friends? Because you're never going to make money with them, because they always want a discount. And I didn't get into this business for a discount. You know what I'm saying? So they want a discount like all the time. Like, no.
Wait.
Sometimes it's cool.
And I'm sorry, because I had a series of questions. And that's one that I have to really stop there.
Okay.
People, I need you to stop discounting your friends and family with their businesses. You wouldn't do it to Macy's. You wouldn't do it to Nordstrom's. Don't do it to us. Because at the end of the day, we're business owners just like they are.
Yes.
So when they send you an email telling you about the discounts, that's it. If it's 25% off, don't try to come to me and say 50% off just because you know I'm a single business owner. Is that really fair to me because you're my family or my friend? If nothing else, you should be supporting your family or friend as if you want to give them even more because you appreciate that they're in business and that they're trying to make it like a Macy's or a Nordstrom. Not where you're trying to put them out of business where you're going to pay them 50 to 75% off because it's the hookup. It's not cool.
Because when you need to borrow that $50, I'm going to say, I don't got it. Because remember, I discounted you and gave it to you for $25 versus me giving you $60? Yeah. So,
Hey.
Yeah.
This is real raw talk from business owners. Like, seriously, support your people and don't ask for discounts. It's just like, and I get it what you're saying. Hey, but that's my family. Well, if you knew that your family worked at Macy's behind the counter, you wouldn't be asking them for a discount. So that's not fair that you do that to the person who you so much so love. So I'm going to put that out there because many of us as business owners struggle with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you pointed that out.
Yeah, seriously.
So tell the viewers a little bit more about what your services are, what it includes, what sort of business it is that you do.
Okay. So the name of my business is Tamiallovon Unique Creations. I came up with the name from my name and my two sons' name, and I just blended the names together because I couldn't come up with nothing. Every time I would send it in to the state, it's like, oh, it's taking us. I said, oh, okay, well, I got one for you. I'm going to put our names. My name is Tammy. I have a son named Diallo, and I have a son named Levon. So that's where the Tamiallovon comes from. It's partial pieces of our names. So next time, don't chop it up. I'm here to tell you, it's Tamiallovon. Very simple. Okay. I am an event planner / I do treats. So I'm kind of across the board with a little bit of everything. I like to do a lot of custom things, like for instance, like this glass that we're drinking out of.
Cheers! Side note, we're drinking a nice bottle of Menage a Trois.
Yeah.
That's all. We're just drinking it. That's it. However, cheers. Go ahead.
So, yeah, a lot of my services include weddings, anniversary parties, baby showers, anything that's entertainment, all the way down to something personal for you and a loved one, or, I mean, it doesn't matter. If it's something that I've never put on my website or my page, as long as you ask me, I probably can bring it to life, because that's just the type of person. Like, I'm more of a visual person. I see things that other people don't see, and I can bring it to life for you. So I think that's what keeps me different from the rest, because a lot of my stuff, I don't go out and buy it and purchase it. I prefer to make it on my own and to keep it a little bit more original than to be like everybody else. So that's what I like about my work, is because I do like to do things on my own. It may take a little bit more time, so that's why I always ask my clients to, if you're going to book me, you have to book me in advance, depending on what it is that you're trying to do, what your budget is. I need time, because note that you're not the only person that's booking me. You know what I mean? So always keep that in mind, that your party planner, you're not the only person. So always give them time to be able to execute your
vision.
Event in enough time where we don't have a problem, you feel like you gotta cuss me out or take me to court or anything.
No, but let me stop there, because when you say cuss me out, I don't think that there are many people who factor in the time that it takes to do these things. So that was another question I had for you, because as a business owner, a lot of people or customers may not understand that you can't just call on an event planner the week, 2 weeks, or even sometimes 3 weeks ahead of time, because they've had previous plans, planning events. So like, especially during the summertime, you've got from baby showers to weddings to proms to prom setups. Like, you got all kind of stuff that's going on, and that all takes time. And then you have people that she contracts out. But I don't think when people are even asking for price, they're not factoring in the time. And so I think that, that might be something that you might want to.
Well, okay, so people always like, well, what do you charge? What do you charge? What do you charge? I mean, not specifically like for prom season, because I give packages for prom. Like for weddings or anything like that, I always go off of what is your budget. So your budget, like once you give me your budget breakdown of what it is that you can afford, then I can tell you what I can do for you. Because if you leave it in my hands, you're gonna spend about $50,000, because I have a taste of I want your stuff to be pretty, and when you walk in, I want you to be happy as to what it is that you're trying to do. So when people ask like, well, how much do you charge for a centerpiece? Well, I can't give you that price, because what is it that you're trying to achieve, and what let's just say for a floral centerpiece, depending on what your budget is, I can do something very elegant, or I could do something very cheap. I mean, anyone can go to the dollar store and put, now don't get me wrong, because it's a lot of dollar store DIYs that are banging, trust me, because I've done a lot of them. But for the more upscale people want something a little bit more exclusive, then you have to come out your money. So we incorporate the fact that it's my time that you're paying for. So if this store doesn't have it, I have to go somewhere else. And so people like, well, how do you charge? I charge because I have to run from store to store. I have to pay for shipping and handling. It's my time. It's like a lot of behind the scenes that you guys don't see. All you see is what's there. You don't know that you have to pay for glue, you have to pay for this, you have to pay for that, you got to pay for the wrapping, you got to pay for the ribbon, you got to pay for every little thing you have to pay for. And people don't see that. They just see that, oh, well, she cost, or this. No, you have to pay for those things. If you could do it yourself, then you would do it. But if a person, you can't discredit someone for what they charge for their prices. I get it. Everybody is on a different scale level. Me personally, I'm not scaling down for no one, because I know my worth. And when you know your worth, you don't take on just any job. And for me, I will not just take on any job, because anything that you learn in your profession, everybody starts off at the bottom, but one day you will be at the top. And when you practice and you put your time into your work and you're passionate about what you do, you're gonna pay for classes, you're gonna pay to critique and learn the things that you want to learn, because this is really what you want to do. So you're gonna invest into yourself. So me investing into myself, when I have to pay $3,500 for a class or $500 for this, you think that I'm just going to give it away? No, you have to pay for those things. You have to pay for those things. And if you don't want to pay for those things, then you could go to Pookie and Ray and them, and that's fine. I'm not mad at that, but don't discredit the people that's taking their time out to invest into themselves to do the things that they want. One day, one of my idols is Jeff, what is his name? Jeff Layton. He's a flower person that his flowers are immaculate. He works for the Four Seasons over in Paris. My goal is to get to where he is. He sent Oprah Winfrey flowers. He sends Oprah flowers, and the Kardashians. Like, he do these big wild things. That's the level that I'm trying to be on. I'm not trying to be on the level of staying here in Detroit and just catering to people of Detroit. My goal is to
expand
and travel the world and be able to assist people all over. My mind frame is just not here in the city. I want to be able to do things like this glass that I make. Yes, something like this will only cost you like $20, $25 depending on. But once I do it in crystals, diamonds and stuff like that, you have to pay for stuff like that. Like, and you got people that will pay for something that's different, that nobody else have, like a one-of-a-kind piece. People love one-of-a-kind pieces. And when I got off into making jewelry, that's not the only thing. I also make jewelry. I also embroider, make foot jewelry, stuff for people weddings. You know what I'm saying? When you go to beach and you want to have a beach wedding, yes, can I make a foot jewelry for you? I can make a foot jewelry for you and your party. I do bouquets, I do boutonnieres, I do it all. So I paint, I do drywall, I mean, I cut grass, I edge, I mean, I don't limit myself. You know, I'm one of the people that I don't limit myself. I always push myself to do something bigger and better because I don't ever want to see myself to be like, oh, I can't. Yeah, I'm limited, but I try to push the bar of not being limited. But I have to remember that I do have a condition, you know, and sometimes people that have conditions and that are sick, I don't know about anybody else. Like when I had my first heart attack, I tried my best. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, Lord, what are you doing? Don't take me out like this, you know? So I feel like, you know, you got to keep it moving. You got to keep it moving.
Okay. So what would you say your range in prices are for your events?
As far as the whole event.
So like what's the lowest up to maybe the highest that you usually charge, like
for an event to do like a full. So I don't walk out my house for nothing under $700.
Okay.
And that's basic. That's typically basic, and that's in something for a guest of 40 and under, and that's including maybe like chair covers, tablecloths, simple centerpieces, a little balloon decorations here and there, and just a little bit here. And then my time, because you have to pay people. I have to pay for people to come and help me set up, break down. You know, people come in, you have to strike that stuff. And so though that's at the bare minimum. You know what I mean? So people don't understand that. They're like, well, why do you charge so much? You have to, because most venues only give you an hour to 2 hours. Other than that, you have to pay additional costs to be able to come in to set up. And if you're doing a wedding party, let's just say you have 200 guests, there's no way you can set up nothing like that within an hour or two at all. You're fooling yourself. So even if you set it up and it's done and executed, you have to have a team of at least 10 to 15 people, depending upon what it is that you're doing. If you're doing backdrops, you're doing centerpieces, chair covers, tying them, you know, everything, you have to be able to pay your people. So people don't get that part of it. Like, it's not just me, because if you're thinking I'm just gonna come in and do all that, you'll be very disappointed, and I'll be in court all the time. You know? So, yeah.
How do you get your customers? Like, how are you finding your customers right now?
Well, right now I do networking. I try to go out and do a lot of networking party. Right now I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram, and a lot of word of mouth, because a lot of people have seen my work. Sometimes I have to get better at doing pictures. A lot of times I'm so busy that I don't get a lot of pictures of my work. So when people go on my page, they don't really get to see a lot of what it is that I'm doing, because when you're busy, you just don't have time for that. You know, a lot of times I take pictures from people who may take them, but if I don't think they're of quality, I won't post them.
Okay.
You know.
So what brought you to where you are versus where you were before? So like, what brought you to Tammy Perry now versus Tammy Perry then? Like, what brought you to the woman, the business owner? Like, what venture or journey did you have along the way?
Life. Life happens, you know. You have to take a step back and look from where you come from to where you going. Like, I look from where I come from and what I've been through and where I want to go. You know what I mean? So I gotta think that It's just maturity, growing up, and knowing what I want to do. Like, I'm 46. In 4 years, I want to be able to sit back and say, in 4 years, I want to achieve a lot of things. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And me achieving a lot of things is, I want to be able to take a trip, sit back, and reap the fruits of my labor. Mm-hmm. And sit back and look at a beautiful ocean or something, and sit back and meditate and say, thank you. Thank you, because I've been through some shit. Mm-hmm. So when you've been through some shit, and you know you done been through it, whew, baby, when I tell you, when you finally get to a place in life where you can finally sit back and reap the benefits of your fruit and put in the work, because without work you get nowhere. God can't lead your steps if you're not moving your feet. You know what I mean? You can ask all the time, can you get me here? But if you're not moving your feet and you're not working towards your goal, boom, you're not going nowhere. He's not going to just drop down out the sky and say, hey, here you go. No, get to work. I procrastinate sometimes, and you know what? That one little voice in my head always say, it pops in there all the time, like, what you doing? Why you laying here? You got shit to do. You got work to do. A person that does not work, you will not eat. And I'm a big believer in that.
No, I love that, because we talked about that. I talked about that last week on our previous podcast. And the thing is, you taking those first steps to say, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. And if you don't take those steps to get there, you'll be stuck. You know, so when you're working that 9 to 5 and you always saying what you want to do year after year after year, and people, it's 2019. It's time to step up and say, I don't want this anymore. So if you're working that customer service job, if you're working that job that's so repetitive day in and day out, where you don't feel like you even have a purpose anymore, it's time to step away and say, what can I do for myself and my family to progress me to the next level? So like you're saying, and that's really where it comes down to.
Only thing I miss about corporate America is meeting new friends, because I am a people person. I love meeting people, and that's the only thing. But sometimes people can be difficult, but even in this job, you meet difficult people. I pick and choose who I deal with. If I think that a person is going to be too catty or too much, I'll decline you, because I just don't want to deal with that type of
Well, I think that's where we're at in our life. It's no negativity. Everything is positivity, drama free, because there's so much other stuff going on that you don't even want that apart. Now, don't get me wrong, I miss my corporate America friends, but I don't miss the political BS that happens behind the scenes. Exactly. However, with, like I was telling some of as far as on our last podcast, talking about different places that now this is your new normal. Where do you go to find new connections? You go to meetups, you get in Facebook groups. You have to find, what is it going to take me to the next level? Because corporate America is great, and it's great to still have those contacts, because you never know when you may be able to do an event for them. Exactly. But now it's okay, because I know when I first left my job, I didn't know what my new normal was like. I went to the grocery store every morning. Who does that? Every morning at Myers. Right. I know, right? I worked every morning. So when I started, like, I wasn't working, I went to the workout, and then I went to the Myers.
You and me is, you came off willingly. I had to come off on a medical reason. That's the difference. I wasn't ready to come from corporate America. I was like pushing, so that makes me think like maybe God had something different for me. And so you as now that I'm older, I have to start paying attention to a lot of different signs, like things that you would not. Before, I had a friend that would talk about God all the time, and I used to be like, oh, here she go again. Here she goes, like trying to change subject. So now I get it. Like, I eat, sleep, wake up about God, because guess what? That's who's putting air in me every single day. Yes. Even when I have my adult drinks, I'd be like, oh, did I have too much? Maybe. But realistically, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. Whether I'm where I want to be right now or not, I'm not where I want to be, but I will get there. Persistency. I just think that small steps repeated beats none untaken. And that is my slogan all the time.
I love that.
small steps, as long as you keep taking them, they'll get to the bigger steps. And eventually you will get to where you want, if that's what you want. You know, you can't sit back and be lazy about the things that you want in life. And that's so true. Like even with my nephew, I look at where he's gone, and with my son, and like this rap life, like I would have never thought.
Wait, who is your nephew?
T-Grizzley.
T-Grizzley, you guys get that? Oh shoot! And wait, who's your son?
Diallo is low ticket.
Low tickets. So we got low tickets and T-Grizzlies, auntie/mom right here. Woo! Yeah, you got that right there. Okay. So tell us. I'm sorry, you were. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I'm sure our viewers want to know.
Even like with my sister, who is T-Grizzly's mom, like she always tell me when she come home from prison that, you know, sis, we're gonna do this, and she's like adamant about it. Like when she come home, it's just like I feel like the sky's just gonna bust open to the things that we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I do. I just know that we're gonna go to bigger and better places, not just because she's coming home, because sometimes two heads are better than one. And we have this little slogan. I don't want to say the name of what we have coming up right now. But when she come home, she's my rock. I miss her so much. And with this prison and reform thing that's coming out, that I'm getting ready to do, Facebook and Instagram, that's for like this new prison thing to release prisoners on things that I don't even know about the shit, but I'm trying to help her.
So can I?
So with me not knowing about it, I can only speak on it a little bit, because I am not like, when she tell me to do stuff, I be like, what?
Wait, and can I help for our viewers?
Yes.
Who is your sister in relation to your nephew?
Okay, so my sister is T-Grizzley's mother.
Okay.
Latoya Perry.
Okay.
And you know, we are same mother, same father. So T-Grizzley is my biological nephew. So a lot of people, they always ask, like, is he really, like, first off, I don't, a lot, when she be like, this T-Grizzley's auntie, I'd be like, no, I'm not. Like, I don't even like for her to even tell people, because, like, I just, you know, I'm happy for him. I'm very proud of him, because he's the first person
to make it, to do good things.
To do good things.
Yay, T-Grizzley! I love to see that.
And then my son, he's coming up, low ticket.
Woo, Diallo!
And I'm happy and I'm proud, because even though, like, even with my nephew, he made a mistake. People make mistakes. We make mistakes all the time. See, the difference between the mistakes now and then is we wasn't recorded, all this publicity, and
yes.
He made a mistake back in our day. A lot of people wouldn't even know about it.
Girl, terrible.
They wouldn't even know about it, because
social media
is a bad piece.
Boom.
It's something. You know what I mean? So for me, you know, I'm just like, if we had social media back then,
oh, it'd be terrible.
I'll be sitting on top of it now. I know her, like I would be, but
say that
it wasn't that way back in our days, and that's okay, because it's here now, and it's okay, because now that it's here, you have to use your platforms for what you can use them for.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So at this point, is there anything else that you'd like to leave our viewers with? Any, like our young women or anyone, or, you know, some things that...
Well, I can say this. Also, I am a victim of domestic violence before, so I can leave this with you. Never settle. Never settle for something.
Great advice.
Right? Leave it. I know at a young age, people used to tell me all the time, like, to do this and do that, and we're going to do what we want to do, but at the end of the day, when you have somebody telling you, because sometimes people see what we don't, and when somebody sees something that you don't see, take heed to it, because no one's going to tell you something just to be telling you if they love you. I'm not talking about somebody that's on the outside looking. I'm talking about people who love you. People who actually love you. So
real talk.
I can go on for days about the things that I've been through, but we don't have enough time. We would need like a 2 week. So That's
and I've been here 35 years, so I know a whole lot.
So I'll just say God bless for anyone that's trying to start a business.
Yes.
It's hard out here because
Yes.
people don't want to give you
Your worth.
on you for no reason, and we need to stick together.
Yes. Support especially
else stick together.
support businesses, women businesses, black businesses. Please don't ask for a discount. Support them wholeheartedly because they have a household to support just like you do.
Exactly.
You know, at the end of the day. So where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram and also on Facebook. Facebook is Tamiallovon Unique Creation LLC, and on Instagram it's Tamiallovon Unique Creation all together. So there will be a link below where you can find us. So any party needs, any entertainment needs,
Proms are coming up.
Proms, videography,
Glasses. Woo, you see these right here. This girl is talented.
or if you just need somebody to talk to, hit me up in my DM. I'm very understandable. I'm not a counselor, but I understand a lot because I have been through a lot. And when you've been through a lot, you're more prone to understand what a lot of people have been through. Trust and believe, life is not as easy as a lot of people try to portray. I can tell you that I've been through shit and hell and back. You know what I'm saying? But that's what made me as a person, and I would not take not one thing about my life back, because then it would not make me who I am today.
Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us. I'm so happy that Tammy Perry joined us today. Yeah, CEO of Tamiallovon. I got it mixed up with my own because I am Tiana Me Marketing. She is Tamiallovon. No, I would not get that wrong because that is my sister right here.
Right.
Tamiallovon Unique. Tamiallovon. Really?
Yeah.
Tamiallovon Unique Creations. Check her out. She does bridal showers, proms, weddings, all of these different events that you guys gotta check her out. Go on her pages. She's got some fabulous photos and videos and things where she's draping. I mean, all kind of stuff. Treats and everything. So we'll be giving like little snippets of some of the things that she does throughout our show as well. So if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Again, I thank you guys for watching us. This is our second episode. Wow, I'm so excited. Katina's Corner, here we are. So stay tuned for our next episode. Of course, that'll be our third episode. And I'd like to leave you with this as well. As I stated before, be a blessing to others. You never realize how much value it brings to your life. Again, thank you guys for checking us out. Don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to our page. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great, wonderful weekend.
And request me back.
Right. And cheers.
Cheers.
Boom.